right.
Welcome. Welcome to the Sigma Show, episode 22. I am your host, Sigma. Before I let you guys know who is joining me today, real quick, let's just go over what the topics are going to be. First up, we have a new movie in the works based on a Sony property. Ghost of Tsushima is going to get a big screen adaptation coming to us from the director of the John Wick franchise. So that should be interesting. Maybe. Who knows? That's what we're going to talk about. Amazon Game Studios, you thought they were done. Nope. Apparently, they have the Rainbow Six Siege leads helping them make a new multiplayer-focused game. We'll talk about what that looks like. And a couple of stories for Xbox. One slightly smaller than the other. But Xbox apparently is changing Xbox Live to the Xbox Network. We'll dive deep into what the hell they're thinking. And also in Microsoft corner of the news, they're eyeing Discord for a over $10 billion purchase/acquisition. So what could that mean for the future? Microsoft got them big, like they're not done spending. Like their pockets is deep and like they'd love to flex. But to join me in talking about all these things are my guests, Blue Bones. What's up? Welcome.
What's going on, bro?
As well as Rexicon Jesse.
Oh, that's me. Hey, everybody.
And Superman Jeff 12. What's up?
Yep.
Nice to have you guys all here together. Yep.
Are you about to fly away?
Like that? Like that's why he shaved.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Now it's finally all coming together.
Oh my god, I do see the little, yeah,
He's just not in the avatar state yet. So
yeah, I feel it.
So we have about 4 topics. Not entirely sure how long they're going to take us. So as we like to do when we want to pad out time, we want to talk about what we've been playing, watching, etc. Anybody want to go first? We can keep it, on the brief side because we do have 4 topics, but I'm still interested. What have you guys been playing and watching?
I can go.
I got you. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, you can go.
Ooh, we so polite. Okay. So I have been, obviously, if you know me, I've been talking about this series for a long time, Invincible. I just finished episode 3. I felt like I was taking my time, but it was really over like 2 days. I watched all of it.
Are the episodes like a half hour, full hour?
They're about 45 minutes.
They seem long. They seem pretty.
Yeah. And I love the way they bring up the title card every episode. It's just gorgeous. There is a difference from the comic book, and they let you know that if you read the comic book, they let you know kind of right away, and I didn't realize it until I rewatched episode 1, right away, that this is going to be a little bit different. One of the biggest details is, you'll see it in the opening scene, Mark, the main character, is a big fan of a comic book called Seance Dog, but in the comics, it's actually Science Dog, and they have similar motivations, but they're a little bit different. So it's really, I feel like Amazon saying, look, this is your story, but it's a little bit different. Bear with us. And I'm cool with it. I love the story that they're telling so far. It's gonna be amazing. The voice acting is on point. The animation, I said this in the Discord before, the slower animations are a little janky, but the action scenes are gorgeous, and I love the music that they're choosing so far. So Invincible, yes. As far as playing stuff, I've been getting back into Diablo 3. That is just a whole nerddom that I love to jump into every now and then. And if you saw my latest stream, I was just talking non-stop about the builds and the different possibilities and blah blah blah. And then last but not least, one thing that I wanted to mention, Empire of Sin has been such a delight to come across.
That's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, it just dropped on Game Pass, but it actually came out December of last year, so it's a relatively recent game. This game is like Monopoly meets GTA meets Civilization in the 1930s Chicago, and it's cool because you're running all these gangster rackets and you're trying to take over all of Chicago. You start as kind of like a dirty hand for the mayor, and when the mayor needs something done, you have to do it. So there's a whole overarching story to it, but I recently got to the point where I had a choice to betray the mayor that's been kind of promised me the seat on the board, and I did it. Yeah, I knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? Sold him out to the
I mean, he was greasy to begin with. Like, no skin off my back.
He was. Oh man, it's pretty graphic, and as far as the language and the things that you can do, and it's very tactical. There's a XCOM like combat system, so definitely Empire Sin surprised the heck out of me, and I'm glad I gave it a shot. And that's one of the things I like about Game Pass. I can give games like that a shot. That wasn't an ad, but Microsoft, if you want to pay me, I got you, bro. That's about it.
All right. How about you, Jeff? You were eager to go.
I guess I'll start the same place Blue Star. I also watched Invincible. I thought it was really good. But and Blue was one of the people who was like, he doesn't care for comics, but he loved Invincible. For me, I don't see what Invincible is doing as far as story goes that other comics aren't doing. But I did love how they did it. It's so that was my take on it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I think I watched the first episode before I knew it. All the episodes were done. Like, it was just very. There wasn't no dead air. There wasn't anything like that going on. It was constant action, story, action, story, action, story, action, story. So it was constantly evolving through the course of watching it. I also watched the Dota anime on Netflix. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. It almost made me want to download Dota.
Did you play Dota?
I played League of Legends.
League, okay. So you played one of those MOBAs, but not that one.
Yes, but the characters were very interesting to the point where it kind of made me want to go see how they were in the game. And I still might download it at some point because I never really got into Dota.
Dota is free, right?
Mm-hmm. League of Legends is free too. They're both free to play.
But then you have to buy all the characters and whatever, right?
Usually they have characters on rotation, so it'll be like 5 characters free this day. Another week it'll be another 5 characters free, but you can also obviously unlock characters through in-game currency as well.
Okay.
Problem is those communities are usually very toxic.
That is true. I've heard that.
Like new players. So I'm a little skeptical. I might try to get some people to do like some private games, just a bunch of noobs going in playing it. But we'll see. Playing wise has been very light.
Real quick, if you could just answer DJ's question in the chat. He's asking, what is Dota?
I was gonna attempt to do that, and I was like,
I just put the link. I was not even gonna try.
Oh, Dota. Oh, yeah, there you go. Jesse put that in there. But it's a MOBA game, obviously, tower diving and heroes versus heroes, and you pick a lane, you go through minions and stuff like that, and you gotta destroy the other team's nexus or base or whatever it is to win. You kill enemies, you unlock gold, you use gold to buy items to make yourself more powerful, and it's just kind of that whole process. So that's Dota in a nutshell. Playing wise, I haven't been able to play much this last 2 weeks. I did start Pillars of Eternity 3 or 2. I think that's 2 that's on Game Pass. Divinity Sin.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I'd have to double check. I think it's
Pillars. Because I feel like you said 2 different games titles just now. Like Divinity is different than Pillars of Eternity, right?
I feel like Pillars were in there. Pillars were in there somewhere. I don't remember.
Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, Pillars of Eternity is a game, but I wouldn't know if 1 or 2 is the one that's on Game Pass.
There's a new one that just came to Game Pass. I think it's 2. It was with all the expansions and stuff like that. It's a very D&D-esque game where you can. The character customization was actually very good. I do like the variety of different classes. You had kind of like giants. You had kind of like god folk, which are like creatures that are made from nature. You had humans. You had elves. You had snow elves. You had dwarves. You had like little goblins, little chode folks. And
I'm sorry, you had what? Chode folks? Is that? Did you say chode folks? What?
You put a G on there somehow.
Yeah, little chode folks.
You keep saying it. I have no idea what that word is.
I'm just gonna carry on.
Yeah.
So
they just
and the
customization
is very good. You can pick a class. Like I picked a ranger. There's a subclass in the ranger where you can do an elemental ranger. Also, like depending on the weapon style you want to go to. It lets you pick like your first couple of abilities. Also, you can pick a ranger that has a companion with him, like a wolf or something like that, and it tells you the attributes that they enhance by going with it. And obviously, they give you a certain amount of points. I think like 20 points. You have your base stats as a ranger, but then they give you 20 points to put in, wherever you want to put it, Constitution, intelligence, wherever you want to put it. And I started playing it, and the story seems very interesting. And the graphics are really good. I think I played like 30 minutes of it, but what I did play was very fun. I definitely want to get back into it.
Okay.
I feel like it would be a lot more fun with like a whole party though.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting. If Jesse's still eating, I can go next.
I'm trying to time my bites
right.
while other people are talking. No, I'm good. If you want, I can go next if you want.
Yeah, go ahead then.
Like apparently everybody else, I watched the first 2 episodes of Invincible, so we got 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna catch up. But yeah, I also really like it. I read the first 1 or 2 issues of the comic or graphic novel, like the bundled, and I didn't like it. I was like, it's okay, but there's nothing here that I'm enjoying. As soon as this gets adapted to its movie, its show, its whatever, I will absolutely watch it. And then I saw it was coming out on Netflix, and I was like, I'm in. All right, show me what you got. And I like it. I think it is better. I'm really interested to see where they go with some of the stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And I don't know why Amazon is consistently firing out the best superhero.
Come on, tell them, Jesse. Come on, man.
They had The Tick, their version of The Tick, which was phenomenal. 2
I still need to
seasons,
watch that. Yeah,
it's so good. They have The Boys, which is great, and they now have Invincible, which is starting off incredibly strong. I don't know how they're pulling that off, but good job to them.
They're just snapping for no reason, and it's not just their superhero stuff too. The Expanse is amazing.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm glad that I got Blue hooked on that.
Yeah, I'll take that one, man.
It's on my list. I swear. It's just
yeah.
I got to get through BattleBots though, which we're still. We just got through 2019, the finals.
Whew.
What an emotional roller coaster!
Damn, y'all moving.
Yeah, like we love it. As soon as events are a thing again, we want to find like local or regional robot fighting and go see it live.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Fun.
Like if I had to know how, I would love to make a bot to compete. That would be so much fun.
You can still take like
Google,
robotics classes and stuff.
You
like,
got Google.
Yeah,
son.
it's an option.
You don't need classes for what? The only thing you need classes for is if you need to get a license to handle something toxic. You know what I mean?
Like you, right?
Oh boy!
Man.
All right.
Yeah. And then Fall Guys Season 4 came out, so I've been playing that a little bit, but I've been doing a lot of editing this week, so I haven't really played that much. So next week we'll be playing a lot of Fallout 1, probably.
Yeah, but I caught your stream. That was really good. I never played Fallout 1, but I've seen videos on it, and I didn't get into Fallout until I think 3.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Bro, I thought you said Fall Guys, and I was like, what the heck?
No, he
is a
did.
Fall Guy?
He did
Oh,
before
wait,
that.
okay. Fall Guys and Fallout.
Fall Guys, yes.
Oh,
and then also
okay.
Fallout.
Got you. It switched so fast. I was like, what happened? Got
Fall Guys
Got
in the
you.
wasteland.
Fall Guys, that would be a cool skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice little crossover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Oh, is that it for your list, Jesse?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I probably forgot something, but that's all right.
It's cool. There'll be a next time. But it's funny that you're mentioning Amazon's track record because I was thinking the exact same thing. And yes, I'm looking forward to Invincible. Haven't started it yet. Like because I don't have to watch it week to week. I'm gonna let it play out so I can enjoy it all in one big go. Because I've been doing that with the Harley Quinn show recently. I've been binging season 2. It's still really freaking good. Like I love the story that they're telling, even though it's not based on any known thing. They're just using whatever they want out of the DC universe. And I guess as long as it's funny, as long as it's interesting, like that works. Like I'm loving everything that they're doing. All the voice actors are mad hilarious.
Yeah. Like every character has something super hilarious about that.
Yeah. Like they're all endearing in their own different ways. Like Clayface especially, I think, is like mad funny, yo.
Right.
Like him just
King
wanting to be an
Shark
actor.
is my-
Yeah, King Shark too.
And the thing is, these are characters who aren't traditionally considered to be funny. Harley Quinn, everything she's been in, she's kind of had like some type of comedic vibe to her. But these are characters who anything they've been in hasn't been anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, like especially King Shark, he's kind of devoid of personality in a lot of media he's in. But this is a really funny take on him.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I've been kind of going from Amazon show to Amazon show. Like after The Expanse, I went and watched that new show Upload, starring Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell's brother, like the Green Arrow's brother.
I watched that when it first came out.
Yeah, it's really good. Like if you like The Good Place, it's not as philosophical, but it's doing a lot of the same things, it's hitting a lot of the same emotional beats and having you think about the afterlife and technology. Well, in this case, technology and the afterlife and stuff like that. But after that was done, I was like, what the hell else is on here? There's a show starring Maya Rudolph and Fred Armisen called Forever.
Okay.
And they're kind of this boring married couple who, and this is a spoiler because this is the whole premise, but they're this boring married couple. Like they're very happy with each other, but they're very boring. They do the same thing like every day of their life. They each die within a year of each other, so they end up in the afterlife together. And then it's like, okay, now we can do what we've been doing forever. And then you kind of see how that devolves, because it's like, okay, when you're alive, you're like, well, I don't want to do this thing, I don't want to do that thing because I don't want to mess up my marriage, but then when you have forever, eternity, to kind of be stuck in this limbo of like kind of a uninteresting marriage, like how does that change you? And it was like really interesting to go, like the first season was like really dope. Like I really like both those actors, and given like allowing them to play off each other, it was really fun. I mean, the concept is really fun too. So like I'm like,
they're both amazing comedians.
Yes. So I'm like, yo, like Amazon has been hitting out of park with pretty much everything. Like it's easy to ignore the stuff in there. Like I even watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel like some time ago, which it's a really funny show. And like you wouldn't imagine it is. Like I didn't even know what that show was about. Like we just kind of randomly decided to watch it, and like it is really, really funny. So like yeah, I'm on a high in terms of like Amazon content right now.
Yeah. And it had that Michael B. Jordan
that Tom Clancy joint. Yeah, right.
That's going right to Amazon.
Cool. That's not out yet, is it?
No, it comes out April.
Just April. Okay, just April.
Yeah, that's a guy.
April ... But yeah, also the not John. What the hell is with John Krasinski as the main character? Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan. Yeah, that's also an Amazon show, which is really, really good.
Yeah, this is a spin-off from that.
Nice. Okay.
Jordan thing, yeah.
All right. So in terms of games, I did get Monster Hunter Rise on the launch day. Like I've been really mulling it over whether or not I was gonna make the purchase, but after my boss Nick said that he was gonna buy it, and then I basically bogarted my way. Like, hey, if you're gonna stream it, I'll buy it and stream it with you, so I can get paid to play this game. He was like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. So I ended up buying it. Immediately was kind of put off by the character creator because it's super limited. Like there's not a ton of hairstyles in it, period. Like not even just the black hair thing, because there's legit like maybe 2 hairstyles you can put on a black guy and look regular. One is a Caesar and the other is bald, because the fro that they have in there is way too curly. Like it doesn't look like black hair.
So sad, man. We always got like 2 options, 3 max.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Like, sorry, it's your turn. Go ahead.
No, it's legit terrible. But after I made my peace with that, I made a character that has like glowy eyes or whatever, and and honestly, I'm super surprised at how good it looks on the Switch. Like I really thought I'd be looking at kind of blocky, muddy textures and whatnot. They switched from the NT framework engine that Capcom used for Monster Hunter World, and are now using the RE engine on Switch. Mm-hmm. And like it looks really good. Like it's definitely less graphically intensive, but it looks really good. And like the load times are like quick. Like you load into like the overworld map where you fight monsters and stuff, and like they're not as expansive as World, but they're pretty freaking big. Like they're much bigger than like any previous handheld version, and like there's no load screens between sectors of the map, so it's World style gameplay. But the thing that really sets it apart is that wire bug. Like how in Sekiro, like my man can just grapple onto points and like just do super cool ninja-ish. That's all of Monster Hunter Rise now. Like you can like the wire bug grapples in the air. You don't need any actual point. So like you just point in a direction, it'll send you upwards, it'll send you like to the side. Like it's just quick ways to dodge, to get air. And like you can like double jump once you're in the air too. Like so like the mobility like just skyrockets in that game. And that's one of the things is like, oh, if you get knocked down or you want to like try to chase after a monster, it's kind of slow going and you're eating up stamina to do so. Like the Palamute, which is like your little sidekick dog, you can ride that at any time when you're out on a hunt, and that boy be moving. Like he will chase down monsters far more efficiently than you ever could without wasting any of your own stamina. You can like eat, you can drink health potions while you're on the back of it, and then like just jump off and get right back to attacking the monster. So like they really streamlined a lot of like the dead time while you're in a fight, and like it is so much fun because they retained all of the combat stuff. I think they've made a couple of tweaks to weapons, but for the most part you have the same combos, the same weapon styles, and then you get an extra attack with that wire bug. So like you can like launch yourself and like do some like real flashy stuff with the wire bug attacks. So I'm having I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. I haven't played too deep in. I did take on like one of those hub quests that is aside from the main story that is meant for like a party of multiple people. I did it solo, and it took me like the full hour and constant chasing to finally kill this monster with like 5 minutes left. So it was kind of harrowing because I'm still a noob in terms of the game, but like I was able to kill it, so I felt really good about that. So I can't wait to really jump back in because I've been missing me some Monster Hunter. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. Well, I will say a review is coming soon for Genesis Noir. Like that game is past its embargo because it's already on
I knew you
Game Pass. Blue guessed that that's what I was reviewing. But I want to say I had a really souring experience with it, like halfway through, and it absolutely like saved itself, like in the ending. So like that's something I think I'm even gonna try to pitch an article and write about in the future because like that game does some stuff that I think people should pay attention to.
Okay.
But other than that,
my interest.
Yeah, like let's move on from what we've been playing to our first topic. The John Wick director is going to be working on a Ghost of Tsushima movie. I'm assuming everyone here has seen John Wick.
Yep.
But has everyone here played through Ghost of Tsushima? No. I know Blue has. I finished it recently. Jeff has not because I was supposed to give him my copy of Ghost of Tsushima when I finished it.
Dang! I forgot you were still waiting on that.
I'm sure Jeff forgot too because he wasn't asking me.
I didn't forget, but I couldn't beat that horse no more. He was tired.
Oh man!
But either way,
you could beat that horse.
Either way, we do know Sony Pictures has said in the past that they were going to be adapting a lot of their first party games into movies. So Ghost of Tsushima is just the latest announcement in that category. First impressions, how do you guys feel a Ghost of Tsushima movie would be translated? Like, do you think that works? Like, are you excited? Like, one or the other?
I think it would just be another version, or hopefully a 2020, 2021 version of Ninja Assassin. You remember that movie back in the day? Yeah, I thought the movie was dope. You know what I mean? I don't need a story. I need cool blood gushing scenes.
Real talk, Ninja Assassin is amazing. It's a shame that movie doesn't have a sequel.
Boss movie.
That's what I want the sequel to be right here. Ghost of Tsushima.
Do you feel Ghost of Tsushima has the same feel as that?
I think it could.
I think they're gonna go for like
an
old type of like
Kurosaki thing.
Like kind of like was it 47 Ronin meets like cyberpunk type feel? Not cyberpunk, Sucker Punch.
Really?
That might be too extreme.
But I feel like you're both saying the same thing. You're saying like, oh yes, samurai, but also like modern day in a sense, like a modern day sensibility.
Oh no, I wasn't saying modern day. I'm talking about as far as the gore and the
Yeah,
action.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Running through people. Yeah, like that's what I'm looking forward to. But when I hear Sucker Punch, I'm thinking uh the what was the movie with Baby Girl and
Yeah, that's Sucker Punch.
oh, okay. You know what? I'm getting the studios mixed up with the movie. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Back
that's
out.
because there's a Sucker Punch game
Yeah.
studio.
That's okay. So yeah, that movie I think was too extreme for the feel that I wouldn't see with
Mhm.
Ghost of Tsushima. However, some cool special effects would be dope, of course. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. That's the first impression on that.
Well, how about you, Jesse?
I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima because I don't have that PlayStation. It's not on PC. But I mean, the movie does sound cool, and from what I've heard about it, with the combat and things, could be really neat. I was thinking more if you've seen 13 Assassins.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I've seen that.
I know.
Put that on your to watch list.
Let me write
It's
that down right
amazing.
now.
It's basically the first half of the movie is character building and why we're going to do what we're going to do, and the second half of the movie is about 45 minutes of these 13 assassins killing people.
That actually sounds
And
really
I-
dope.
It's
Oof.
awesome. And, like,
Just like the raid.
God, I love the raid. It's so good.
Yes.
But yeah, it is really good. But it's very in a lot of ways like traditional samurai film, where it has those like practical effects and very choreography heavy, and that it flows together so well. And I feel like something like that could work really well with Ghost of Tsushima as a movie.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like I feel like this kind of a story would be better served trying to copy more traditional samurai cinema than anything relying heavily on like, you know, CG or like blockbuster action. Because I feel like that's what the game was trying to copy, right? Like those old Kurosawa movies, like
was.
Twilight Samurai. Like I feel like this is a movie with this subject matter could be like the closest thing a video game movie would get to an Oscar. Do you know what I mean? Because like the actual story, the underlying story of the game is actually pretty good. Like just the plot of like Jin's, you know, dynamism. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like he has like his samurai life and then like the life that he needs to lead to like free his people. You know, his relationship with his uncle, like the past of, you know, the girl who's helping him, and like that duality pushing him one way or the other. Like that can be a really interesting story that's told. And then, you know, you have the cool samurai set pieces in the background. Like if it gets too bogged down in all of the action and like making that part look really cool, I don't know. I feel like it can undermine like the feel, like the emotions that it's supposed to produce in you, in a way. And honestly, Ghost of Tsushima being a Sony property, I feel like it did focus a little more on story than gameplay, because like as I finished it, like the game was fine. It didn't do anything to really push the medium gameplay wise, but in terms of telling a story and setting a scene and building a world, phenomenal. So like, yes, put that on a big screen, tell me that story without me having to interact with it, and I think it could work really well.
Cool. So you finished the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finished it. Haven't touched the multiplayer yet,
Send
though.
him- Yeah, I know. I was waiting for that. So Jeff, while you waiting for him, I'm waiting for him too. Because he promised like 2 weeks ago on this show. that-
Yeah, I said that we would. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, you're right.
But with all that being said, do you think the
Yeah.
John Wick director is kind of the right man for the job? Like, based on what you want personally out of this movie, the guy who brought John Wick to fruition, is this a good choice as a director?
Considering I hardly remember the plot of John Wick 2 and 3, probably not. Don't get me wrong, I love those movies because it was dope. Like all the scenes, all the action scenes were amazing, and they entertained me. From all I needed to know is why is he going from this building to this building. That's all I needed to know. And with Ghost of Tsushima being such a rich story, that might not be the best direction to go if they're going the same way as John Wick. I didn't take a good look into the director's history beyond that, but I hope that's not the exact style that they're going.
Okay, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, I was gonna say his on his IMDb, he has about 8,000 times more credits in stunts than he does as directing, which does make me think that they're going more for the
combat,
the combat style of it. But I agree with you if it does focus on story more than a little bit. Okay, John Wick was fun, but story was definitely lacking. Hopefully, with Sony money, they'll get someone else in there to do the script right and then build on that.
Yep,
that could be helpful.
But Sony got they got a lot of projects going on. I don't know how much money they got to spare for this one.
That's the thing with industry. A lot of movies are already done, but they're being pushed back because of everything that's going on. Like that Michael Morbius movie has been done for a while, but it just hasn't come out because
I forgot that was
COVID,
a
thing. What movie?
Michael Morbius is kind of a vampire guy. He's in Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery.
It was one of those. It was another one of those Fox Marvel movies before the acquisition happened. It might just be lost in that transition. Like they might not know where to place it now. Because it
like it's supposed to be kind of being part of that whole Venom verse they got going on now.
Right.
Eventually.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be really cool. I remember that.
But Honey Money is adding. It works in John Wick. Just thinking it might cheapen this story, which I tend to agree with.
I think John's story wasn't directing. I think it was more so as it was being developed. I don't think the story overall was the main point of that movie, and it didn't stick out because it wasn't that great. People just need to know he was a hitman. The dog died. Stuff happened. He came back and he was killing everybody. The action is what carried that movie, but I think from start to finish, that story wasn't the best story there was. This is different. Like
it wasn't terrible though.
Well,
it wasn't terrible. It was more like the action was like A, and the story was like a C plus, which was fine because that's what it was.
It averages out to like a B.
But that's the thing that was so remarkable about that first movie in particular, is that if you plot out the actual story, like the beats that happen, it's kind of dumb. Like his dog dies, he goes and chases the people, he kills all the people, and then the end of the movie, right? It wasn't necessarily the story that was told that was so cool about it. It was the world that it was happening in. It was like the places he was going, the people he was talking to, all of that unsaid mystery about where all this stuff was taking place. Like that's what made it so engaging. And then the action basically sells you on all of the events as well. So like that's kind of masterfully done to make a story that simple, that interesting. But that's why I wonder, could that work with Ghost of Tsushima? Because it actually does have a good story. Like the beats of the Ghost of Tsushima story are good, and you would want to focus on that in a movie about it rather than leave it, in the air or in the background and just focus primarily on the action. Like that's what I'm worried about, is that balance.
That's what Jin was worried about.
Yeah.
That
the yin and the yang, you know what I'm saying?
The TIE fighter and the X-Wing.
Anyway, we'll just pass right over that. Spaz OL says the story was there only to drive the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the world kind of just
let's do it.
Ingrained you to everything. Honey Money also says, also not sure Keanu is the best story actor. Love him, but he's so good with action. That is true. He's more like a face to put. I was gonna say a face to put guns into, but like guns don't go on the face. So, but you guys know what I meant.
Yeah. He looks good with the gun in his hand.
Yes.
Is there anybody you would like to see as the main character though, Jen?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Very good question.
Yeah, because I don't have many Japanese actors' names like in my mind, but there's the guy who comes.
Well,
You guys have,
it might not be.
have
Might be Scarlett Johansson. Who knows?
Oh
Tom
wow!
Cruise.
Let me
Tom
be-
Cruise. The Last Samurai again.
Oh.
Him right again.
I wouldn't mind Hans from Fast and the Furious.
I'm
Hans.
sad that I don't know none of their names because I'm like,
Yeah, I don't remember that guy's
maybe
name either.
Like Harold from Harold and Kumar.
No, that's John Cho from Harold and Kumar, I believe. Right?
Okay. I feel really bad.
He's doing Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. He is.
But the guy from Westworld,
Tom-
if you remember when they went to like the samurai section of the theme park, does any
I
no?
didn't get to Eastworld yet.
Damn.
Nah, because season 2 of Westworld was just like,
But
let me just take acid instead.
that guy played a samurai in Westworld. Like, I think he could do it. Crap, I wish I could remember his name. I apologize for that. Somebody in chat can do it for me, right?
Fact check. Yeah.
Honeyman says, "Isn't he kind of old though?" John Cho is getting up there in age, but yeah, I don't know how old. Oh right, yes. Spaz says, "Yeah, that dude is in Mortal Kombat. The guy from Westworld. The guy playing Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat movie is who I'm talking about."
What about? Is that the same dude who played in Logan? He was what's the name? His father, Hanato's father. What was the guy? He had like the little beard. He looks like the dude from Cyberpunk. He looks like Takura.
Takamura.
Takamura, yes. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know. Yeah, he does look like Takamura.
What's his name?
I
need to
can't
find
remember his
out.
name. Somebody in chat, please help us out. Find Scorpion from Mortal Kombat's real name. Like, he's current Scorpion in the new movie that's coming out. Should be easy to find. So let us know that. In the meantime, we're going to move on to our next topic. Hiroyuki Sanada. Honeymoney's asking. I don't know for sure. I need someone to be definitive and says, yes, this is that man's name.
I'm going on IMDb.
Sigma just sent out the Sigma verse and said, go find this information and return to us.
No.
Oh, but in the meantime, while we're confirming
Oh, Hiroyoku Sanada.
Oh, I couldn't
Okay,
copy
that,
that's
process.
Hiroyuki
what-
Sanada. So yeah, Honeymoney is correct. And he was in Last Samurai. Yes, that's
Yes.
him. Okay. So we found it. Yay, clap it
Tom
up.
Cruise.
Hey.
So he has starred in a samurai movie alongside Tom Cruise. He should play Jin.
Alongside Tom Cruise.
So next topic.
Featuring Kevin Hart.
Please no. We have the Rainbow Six Siege leads working on a new multiplayer game at Amazon Studios. The same Amazon Studios that canceled their last multiplayer-centric title, Crucible, are now teasing a new multiplayer-centric game. How do you guys feel about this news?
I think they finally learned their lesson. The last one was a Crucible. They did that in-house.
Mm-hmm.
And they released it and they had to unrelease it. Now they're going to get people who've done this already and are bringing them aboard. So they're learning. I think, and Stadia did the opposite. They did something, it didn't work, so then they closed their in-house studio and just like, you know what? We're just going to go out to everything else. Here they're trying to get the talent to come into them and help them build something. And I think that's going to help put what is it, the Luna? Hopefully, obviously this will be on all the systems, I would think, but whatever they're going to release. But they learned their lesson. Yeah, I would think so. Because with the new world, that's going to be on PC and PC.
Yeah, I mean,
but
that's
you know
it.
what I'm
Like,
saying? I mean, it won't just be on the Luna. Isn't that the name of their system, the Luna?
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, I think their cloud service is Luna. But I do think the cloud stuff is supposed to be separate in terms of functionality. So like, in order to make it exclusive, they would still need to have it on PC if they want that to be an option. Like, it's because then you would still want to buy it versus only being able to stream it, right?
Now, because think about Siege. It's been going on for how many years, and they have not made a second one, and it's been strong ever since. So I think they went to the right people to help. I mean, to help bring whatever they're gonna do to fruition, because the Crucible just wasn't it. Whatever it was supposed to be. So
It was supposed to be Paragon. It was supposed it was supposed to be a revival of Paragon, I think, and it didn't
It
happen.
seemed more like what was that? What was the name of that game? Where you was four people versus a monster. You had to hunt the monster.
Evolve.
Oh,
Yeah,
Evolve.
it seemed like the view was very similar to that, but it was like there was like goals you had to go to. You had to worry about the planet, and you had to worry about other combatants.
Yeah, it was supposed to
and
be
stuff like that.
PVE stuff mixed in with PvP stuff and battle royale, and like it was trying to do a lot. It was like taking from almost everything that was popular. There was some Overwatch elements in there, some Dota elements. It was a hodgepodge, and it didn't work. Clearly, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to bring up is the studio that Amazon was working on before or had before was Double Helix, and they existed before. Like Amazon bought them and then had them work on this. I don't think this was in their wheelhouse though. I think the stuff they made before that was not anything like multiplayer shooters. So that makes sense that was probably a big mistake. Them going for these guys who have, a multiplayer game pedigree makes more sense. But for them to achieve the kind of success that Siege did, they would have to do what Ubisoft did, which was keep funding that game, right? Allow for extended development, which they didn't do for Crucible. Because when Siege first launched, it wasn't like a smash success. They had to keep iterating on it, and then it had to stay in power. If Amazon comes out of the gate with a game that isn't like the biggest thing on the planet from day one, how likely do you think they are to keep funding it money to make it get that way, or will they just unrelease it like they did Crucible? Like, what are your guys' thoughts?
Do you think they gave up too early?
I think they did. Yeah,
You played that game, right?
yeah. I played like a couple rounds of it.
Were there a few quality of life things that you think could have fixed that game, or was that game just not fun from the
Irredeemable.
ground up? Yeah.
Like the thing was, it didn't feel fun to fight like the environment, like which honestly was a selling point to me. Like if you're gonna put me in a battle royale mode, give me something else to do in like the downtime, right? Like my team can like get into a fight with the world, secure bases, build up something, upgrade ourselves. Like that's how that worked. That was kind of the MOBA-esque part of it. And then like once you did get into an engagement, then your team would have to fight these other people who maybe were also powering up somewhere or like came straight to attack you, and whatever, you're defending like a certain section of the map. Like the concept worked, and like some of the characters that they had actually did have like fun skill sets. Like there was like a girl who had like twin flamethrowers on her arms that she could use them as like rocket boosters and stuff. Like that was kind of cool. It's just like the actual fighting part wasn't fun yet. They could have worked on that stuff if they got enough feedback. They probably could have revamped it and made it more interesting, like fighting the enemies and then tweaking the combat with other people to make it fun, right? But I guess with a low player base, that's harder to justify. And then with Amazon shelving it all, like you really don't get a chance to make good on anything. So I don't know. Like I don't see much of a difference. Like most multiplayer things when they first launch aren't successful. There's the market is saturated. There's a lot of other stuff people can be playing. So like you're gonna need to be around for a while for people to slowly make their way over there and say, hey, this is fun. Bring some more people over. Oh, hey, yeah, this is fun. Let's bring some more people over. It's gonna take some while. It's gonna take a while, and you're gonna need to keep reiterating to make sure like it's as good as it can be over time. I don't see Amazon investing in that. I think they want a quick turnaround because there is a lot of money being made in games. Amazon is all about making a lot of money, but I don't know how much they are in the game of patience, as we've seen previously.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I see that what you're saying, but even the Siege wasn't what it is now at launch. It still had a draw to it. It still had people still talking about it, despite the little issues with it.
Well, I mean, it also wasn't a brand new IP.
No, that's another thing. So the Crucible, if it wasn't good, it just wasn't good. You weren't going to have anybody play it, which kind of incentivized us to kind of work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got some people who like it. Let's work on making it better for those other people. I don't think there was an initial draw to it, which kind of led to them believing that there. Because what's the point of, you know what I'm saying? If there's one person on the server, what's the point of keeping that game alive?
Yeah, it's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Do you think they looked at Crucible and like, yo, this is about to be another Anthem. Let's just stop now.
Whoa!
Do you think that's what they said?
He wasn't even talking about it.
I know, but I feel like at this point, like obviously hindsight vision's 2020. maybe they should have stopped while they was ahead. Because as many times as they promised us new rollouts and new updates and da da da, obviously it's not the same people that we're talking about, but it was a very disappointing game at the end of the day, and maybe they just didn't want that with Crucible. They're like, you know what, this is way too much to do. Maybe we bit off too more than
Yeah,
we
let's
can
just wipe
chew.
the slate clean.
Let's
Start
talk
fresh.
to some people who know what they're doing and do it again.
Anthem had an initial draw to it. It wasn't till I would say the end game. I overlooked
So people played it.
the simplicity of the enemies and stuff like that, because it was actually fun flying around and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
If those changes would have occurred a lot sooner, as opposed to we're gonna do some changes, we're gonna do a mass overhaul. Almost a year later, that overhaul still wasn't done. At that point, it's like, you know what, we ain't do it yet. We got a bunch of other stuff we need to focus on. Let's just cut our losses and forget about it. The game's $7.99 right now. Like, what are we really doing? Now, they should have did that they should have did that a lot sooner, as opposed to a whole year later.
Yeah, I was dragging it out, thinking about doing it, and then not executing.
Because people ran away from it. Like, whatever people you had who were still sticking around, you'd already lost them because something else came out that pulled them away. You have to have. They didn't have to do the whole overhaul right away. They could have started to get some of it done little by little, which showed people you were trying to make the game what you said it was supposed to be, and that didn't happen.
I don't think Amazon wants to take all those steps.
And like you said, it was a new IP. Yeah. There wasn't a huge buzz about it to begin with. You know, like, nobody was raving about it, like, hey, it's good, but it has these issues. Yeah, okay,
this
cool.
Is
people
better buzz.
Yeah, stick around. We can work on those things, get it to where it should be, but we can't do that for 10 people on a server or something. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved from Mass Effect to make Anthem.
And they got money. So they could have. Yeah. They got money. So.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, it's okay.
I was just gonna say, because Amazon is such a big name, like they can use that. Like Crucible being a new IP, you know, is gonna be rough going. But the fact that it's the first new IP from Amazon, who is a very big name, does give it a little bit of a boost. I feel like I do think it might have been a mistake to drop it that fast, but I can see where Blue's coming from and saying like, well. If it's not working, like we don't have any kind of a fervor or people like really hype about it, just get rid of it. We'll try something else again. It's still kind of a dark stain in their history now, right? Because everyone's going to look at the next thing side-eyed. Like, oh, well, if this is also middling, let me get out now, or let me not put any money into it because they're going to close the servers. I mean, I think Crucible is supposed to be like a free thing anyway. Yeah, I don't think you paid money for Crucible. But
I feel like the fact that they kind of did Crucible on their own, right? And they made a mistake, have this dark stain now. Now they're bringing in people that know what they're doing. That, I think, kind of counteracts a lot of that. Not all, but a lot of that negative stigma from we did it on our own. So we got people who know what we're doing. And we got the shmoneys, you know what I'm saying? So I think even just releasing this article is putting them in a much better position.
Right.
Releasing this information is putting them in a much better position for their next IP.
And it's not like they were one of those developers who they put a lot. I mean, obviously they put money in this. Where they, hey, we're riding on this game.
We're not riding on this.
We can't afford to just to say, we got to make this game so people come back to it. We got to improve it so that way we can get some people into this game. You know what I'm saying? That's like they're like, no, just throw it away. It's only $5. You know, I could just buy it.
The price keep going down.
I didn't care for the cheese on that pizza. I'm just gonna order something else. Just throw that away.
Yeah.
As opposed to that's my last $5. I need to eat that pizza, or I'm
hot and ready.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's definitely more faith in their gaming division than Google had, because they didn't just stop doing it altogether. They went like, all right, we'll stop doing this and we'll start working on that. So
yeah, almost right away.
What did Google do?
What didn't Google do?
What would Google do?
All right. I mean, any other thoughts on this situation before we move on to our next topic?
I'm worried about kind of what I forget someone mentioned, that game development's a long game. Like if they're hiring someone now to start a new IP, we're talking a game in minimum 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
if you want it to be good,
Yeah. Right. And it does give me some faith that they're not going to pull a Stadia and just, or Stadia game development, Stadia still thing, but their actual Google game development and just close it. But they also have Amazon money. If they get bored of this in a year, that's,
Okay.
whatever. That's blowing a tire for one of us. Like, ooh, yeah, I could do it. What do they care?
I'm still gonna be watching Invincible. I'm still gonna be watching The Boys. They getting just money. You know what I'm saying? This is the same prime people that we was just talking about.
And I'm also worried because New World just doesn't look good to me at all. And if that fails too,
it wasn't horrible. It had some good stuff, but it also had some stuff it needed to work on. And that could be just because it was kind of like the beta, the alpha. Wasn't that the alpha?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Spazowell says they're throwing $500 million at the Lord of the Rings and Wheel of Time TV shows. I don't know what that is.
Wheel of Time.
God, I forgot they were making that.
Holy crap!
They can throw money at a few games. It's all about quality of devs and IP.
What's that other one? Blood and Sand they're working on, or Blood and Bone?
Oh, I did hear about.
What is
I did not hear about that.
That looked pretty good.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got the money to throw.
The guy from Punisher, he played Jigsaw. He played Frank Castle's best friend.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what that show is. And real quick, somebody tell me what Wheel of Time. What is Wheel of Time?
It's from my understanding, a convoluted and not very great, very famous fantasy book series.
It's one of the okay.
Like mad shade in that description.
But it is a classic though. It's an OG. It's kind of like I'll give you this. It's like Dragon Ball Z. How it didn't age well, but a lot of people started.
I'll remember it fondly. Okay.
One of the big, so it's got a lot of nostalgia factor. When I was in the Navy, some of my old chiefs, that was like their books. Like that's the only reason why I know about them, because these old heads were talking about, yo, y'all ain't no nerds. We watch Wheel of Time. I was like, what are you talking about, son? Yeah, but it's definitely one of those.
Okay, interesting. I'll keep an eye out for whatever that turns out to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to our next topic. Xbox Live is now going to be changed to the Xbox Network. I want to get your first impression, because there's actually a bit of nuance to this story that isn't really on the surface. But I just want to get your initial reactions to this information.
If it ain't broke, we'll fix it.
Yeah, but it broke. So. So probably a good call.
Honestly, I didn't understand it at first, and my homeboy, who's a Sony pony, he sent me the article. He's like, "Bro, look what they're doing," and I was like, "All right, they call it network. I don't care. What is that? Who cares? They just changed the name." And so then after reading the article, it's different, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Well, essentially, yes. They are changing the name of the underlying service to the Xbox Network, because across the board, the subscription service and the network that you actually connect to is known as Xbox Live. Like when people say like, "Oh, I can't get on Xbox Live," they're saying like the internet's down for Xbox, right? Like Xbox Live is Xbox's network.
Right.
They want to kind of separate those ideas from each other, so that when you say Xbox Live, you're talking about your subscription to like the Gold service, which is you paying for, the free games of the month and getting access to playing for multiplayer games or whatever, and just being online while on your Xbox as just a network. Because say you're not subscribed to Gold, going forward, you won't have to have Xbox Live Gold to play Fortnite and stuff like that, because those free-to-play games will just work on the underlying network. Yeah. So it's not that they're throwing away Xbox Live, but they are kind of diminishing its impact, because with Game Pass being the thing they want everybody to sign up to, Xbox Live is kind of this weird middle ground of you. All right, okay, I have an Xbox. I want to get access to these multiplayer games that I have to pay money for, And sure, they give me free games every now and then, but I don't want the big library. I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, why not go get Game Pass? And then once you do that, like, what's the point? Like, why not roll everything into the same service? Like, why not tie gold to Game Pass so that once you start spending money on Microsoft, you get all the features as opposed to like a tiny fraction of them.
And maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kind of like not speak about it, speak it. Well, how can I say this? They're kind of trying to slowly fade it out. So that way, anybody who has Live and who doesn't have Game Pass, who doesn't have the Ultimate package, that's kind of going to phase out. And then every home that has Live will have it incorporated from that Game Pass Ultimate package. You know what I mean? So that way, it won't even be a thing anymore. So they're kind of making it, like you said, like that strange middle area.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, slowly, like, if there's like a bundle for like $500, but there's also the regular version for $400, and you kind of like leave those in the back room and just have the $500 bundle out, people are only going to see that, and that's what they're going to buy. They don't know the other one even exists because we're not advertising it.
Because honestly, it's a bad deal on the face.
Yeah.
So like, why would you bother with it? But then, or rather, I'd rather hear from either Blue or Jesse real quick.
Go ahead, Jesse. I've been talking a lot today.
I mean, if they're changing stuff about it, it's probably good to get a rename. Basically, make sure you know what you're talking about when you say Xbox Live is down, Xbox Network is like. If they're creating so many things that they either have to have them all bundled as one name, or they do need to differentiate what each one is, so you could properly discuss what they are and you can decide what you want. So it makes sense. I mentioned. I mean, like PlayStation did the same thing. Their first network for PS2, I'm not even sure had a consistent name across that generation.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
all sorts of names on the box, like play with Sony Broadband, Sony Net, PlayStation Online. Like it was.
Yeah, but I guess that was before.
Game you get.
Yeah, that was before Sony ever even had their own centralized network, right? It was just this console can go online, so whatever game you're playing is the one that's facilitating the connection to the other people. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hate that we could lose the term Xbox Live because it's just a good name. It's a good ass name. Like I understand that Live, I guess, is different from like the underlying service. Like when you put your Xbox into an Ethernet cable, that's the Xbox network. Like that in and of itself isn't Xbox Live. But why couldn't it be?
And people, it's going to take a while even for that to catch on. Like, when you say Xbox Live, I know what you mean. Like, hey, Xbox Live is down. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Nobody even thinks, oh, your subscription is down. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, when you say Xbox Live is down, I get it. Or you say, oh, I didn't pay for gold this month. I understand what that means. So that's something different. In order for this network thing to catch on, it's going to be a while before it does.
Yeah, like they change it in all the terminology. Like, that's the beginning of it.
Yeah. So when you call it, like, hey, my Xbox Live is down, they're going to be like, do you mean your subscription or the internet service we provide on your network? Yeah, that's what I said. Xbox Live.
Because
but just because you know the difference doesn't mean that everybody knows the difference.
Most gamers know the difference.
No. Hold on. We're tech savvy, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have a lot of parents who don't know all of this stuff.
They don't know any of it.
Younger kids or any of it, and you have younger kids who are like, "Hey, mom, Xbox not working, fix it." And they're on the phone talking about Xbox Live when they're really talking about gold, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So this can help clear up a lot of difference. Okay, cool. They can clear up a lot of differences and a lot of confusion. To people that are not tech
I'm going to tell you
savvy.
this. If that kid is going to their mom and saying, I need you to... If they're playing on Xbox, that kid's know way more about that Xbox than their mom does.
You don't know that, bro.
He's not going to
Niggas
go to...
Hey, mom, turn on the Minecraft. I'm talking about kids
What age are you talking about?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's a plethora of kids who don't know how to handle this.
You didn't give me an age. What's the age?
The
kid aged.
Kid age. Kid age. Okay?
4 to 8, I think.
You know, but there's definitely a market of not tech savvy people that might need this distinction. When I was reading through the article, it felt like a cipher I needed to figure it out. I had to like write it down. Okay, this is that one, this one, that one. That one. Okay, cool. The only thing I think they should have done was just rename everything and kind of do it uniform, because they feel like the X-Men right now. They're just so wacky, and you just you know, Xbox Network, Xbox Live Gold. Just I would just say take off the gold and just I don't know, or Network Gold.
No,
you
no,
know?
I agree
then,
with you.
Or then do Xbox Network Game Pass. Right there.
That's a lot. That's
That
a lot.
that is a lot.
But I'm just saying, like, you can see the different levels and really easy to some kind of
I think
uniform.
they should be simplifying this. Like they're adding a third term to break out some other function of the network that isn't on the face of it just very clear. What they could have done, especially if their long-term goal is to phase out Xbox Live, which it seems like that's the case. Like they're saying Xbox Live is not the moneymaker. We want people on Game Pass, and then we don't want people to think of Xbox Live, this subscription service, as our network. So we call it Xbox Network. Instead of doing that, go the other way. Say, all right, since we want to phase out Xbox Live Gold as a service that you subscribe to, call Xbox Live the name of the underlying network, which is the thing people understand it as to begin with, and then have that just be the name of the network, and then say if you want to subscribe to Xbox's service, that service is called Game Pass.
And then just get rid of gold.
Yeah.
And so you're throwing out the couple of games a month. Now, I'm not saying that I think that's a great deal. I'm not saying that, all right? But you're also throwing away that couple games a month that some people like. Now,
I mean, not necessarily. Like
that is going to get.
you could.
Then it comes down to the.
You could say
people, and it might.
You could say, because you're still paying for that, mind you. It's free games, but it's because you're subscribed to the gold service, right? If you're subscribed to Game Pass, you're getting a big library, but then also give them the free game. If they really can't divorce themselves from giving them a couple free games on just still give them those games, but just have them be part of Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And then if you're just on the Xbox and you're playing like your Fortnites and your Apex Legends and all that stuff, you're doing that on Xbox Live because that's what everyone knows that it's called already. This is just unnecessarily convoluted.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Microsoft's track record, as you can see from their naming scheme. Like, why do I have an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, and then an Xbox Series X, and an Xbox Series S, and whatever the hell is supposed to come after that? Like, they're bad at naming things, and this is just the latest example. Whoever came up with Xbox Live at the beginning doesn't work at Microsoft anymore. I'm convinced.
All right.
But I mean, we'll move on from that, I guess, and continue on the Microsoft train, because speaking of deep pockets from earlier,
yeah, man,
they're eyeing the chat service Discord for upwards of $10 billion for an acquisition. Jesse's shaking his head. Let me know, how do you feel?
I already don't use Skype. Don't make another one. Come on.
They did do that to Skype, right? Like, Skype was its own thing. They bought it, and now people don't like it.
I'm not sure if it was their thing before, if it was always their thing. But it's not as good as Discord. Discord's better. And, like, they've been pumping a lot of money into Skype, and it's still not as good. And, like, I don't want another Skype. You've already got that, and you can make that better or get rid of it. I don't care. But, again, I kind of what I was saying about PlayStation or Sony buying Evo, where it's like bigger companies just buying more and then just have more of the market is something I'm just automatically wary of.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I would have been more excited about it if they still had Mixer with their acquisition of Discord. I feel like it could have been a lot more done with it. I don't see what they can do with Discord besides just buying it at this point.
They'd integrate into their PlayStation, or their Xbox parties, most likely.
Yeah, the Xbox.
That's I think
network.
It doesn't do much. Like,
Well,
stop, Jesse.
Imagine if. My bad. Yeah, I don't know what Xbox.
are you like video
service
chat on the Xbox?
Well, video chat is an option, but I'm thinking, right now when we play cross-platform games, right? Let's say example, Killer Queen Black. We have to go through Discord to talk to people who are also playing on PC.
Mm-hmm.
If they could just take out the external Discord app and just put that straight to your console, or or your PC app, that could be a really good integration for those cross-platform plays, especially knowing that Destiny 2 is supposed to be cross-platform, especially this year. That being said, when I read this article, I feel like this is a puff piece, because it does say that Discord's been talking to a whole list of buyers. Microsoft's on the list of those buyers, but there's no deal imminent. So I didn't want to get too hyped for this possibility, because I feel like this is kind of just trying to up Discord's stock and value right now. I'm not going to
you're right. There's a good chance the news is like someone on. I just watched Ford versus Ferrari, and I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Ford tried to buy Ferrari, and what Ferrari did was have people take pictures and go run to some other Italian company to tell them, hey, Ford's trying to buy Ferrari, to make them go, oh, I'll buy them tomorrow for 18 million or whatever. It was a ploy. They embarrassed Ford and used them to up their price to the people they wanted to sell to. And this does seem very similar. So it's possible Microsoft will never get this, but I do think the underlying service is kind of in line with what Microsoft wants to do. Like you're saying, to unify the PC and console spaces, because technically they already do that. If you download the Xbox app on your PC, you log into the chat service, and you're in the same parties that you get on console. It's just that it doesn't work that well. It's a little wonky. You don't get notifications and whatever. Discord works perfectly on mobile and on the computer and whatever.
True.
If you could implement that on the consoles, it would be a big get for Microsoft, who is all about uniting the console and the PC experience.
Now, to Black Hippie said something very important, that Xbox has been partnering with, or Microsoft has been partnering with Discord. I remember a couple months ago they gave us Nitro for 3 months on Discord, just for being a part of Game Pass. So there has been talks before, some kind of deals that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll acknowledge that. But again, I don't know. Discord does stuff with everybody. They're all over the place, and that's what makes them great. So I don't know if that's enough to say, oh yeah, we've been seeing this coming for a long time. Even though it'd be great for them, I think. But I did want to say one thing, Sigma. The Xbox app on PC has been getting better. I use it legit all of the time. Anytime you guys are playing Xbox with me in a party, that's where I'm at, because I use wireless headphones. I don't plug it into. So it has been getting better with updates and stuff like that, and it does work really, really well. But I think the biggest get for Discord right now is just how many people are already on it, and how many people are continually logging onto it, especially during this.
Yeah, it's the market share that they have, and that's probably something very valuable to Microsoft.
Yeah,
and they might not even need to sell. It's not something like they're not doing well and they need somebody to acquire them to stay afloat.
They might just be talking about it.
Yeah, they're doing really good. I mean, and I think somebody in the chat just had said that they might even be looking to go public. Spaz OL said it could be considered going public instead, and that could be a thing to kind of help boost their stock.
Yeah, that's true.
Public.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not crazy hype about this partnership yet. Just because it doesn't feel like set news. It's just a talk. It's a talk.
Right.
But I still think Microsoft would benefit. I don't know why I lost the chat, so I can't see it anymore for some reason. Because I wanted to bring up something somebody said. I do think so. Yeah, M. Pogson wrote Microsoft Chat powered by Discord. I think even if they don't acquire them fully, it is worth the effort for Microsoft to basically have them handle that technology if they could, right? Mm-hmm. Because it does work better. And I agree with Blue. The service that they have now, it does function. It works. I use it when we're streaming between platforms and stuff as well. But Discord works better. It just does, and it has extra functionality, the streaming and the video calls. We're using Discord right now to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Right? It's my preferred choice because it's very reliable and it works, it functions, right? So if if that could just be molded into the other stuff that I use, like I would not be mad at that. And I think Microsoft they wouldn't be they wouldn't be blind to that. Like they would know that that's a thing that they could use and make use of. But outside of that, do you have any other viewpoints on this acquisition before we get into our sign-offs? Nope.
No, sooner the better, man. Let's hear some more news. I want to see what happens with this. I'm really excited to see what Discord does now.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Blue, before you drink that water, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet?
Sea. No,
You couldn't go to someone else first.
No, I was like, the words were coming, and I saw what he was doing. I couldn't stop.
I feel it. My name is Bluebones, BLUB0NES. You can find me at that exact stream name that you see right above my head here on Twitch. You can see me on Twitter, Instagram as well. We're doing Super Smash today, I believe.
Yeah, 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to be on a Phoenix Wright voice acting stream in just a little bit with Kiba EXE. It's going to be super fun. We did one a couple weeks ago. They're doing like the final trial, and we're like voice acting and trying to figure it out. It's going to be super dope. You guys definitely
Yeah, check that out.
Kiba.exe. Cool. Yeah. And then I did a pop-up stream yesterday. If you jumped in for that, the Diablo 3 was a lot of fun. So just hit that follow button so you know what time it is.
Do it.
Getting stronger.
Yeah.
Jesse, how about you? What are you doing that you want folks to check out?
I've got a new behind schedule coming out probably next week on The Escapist. And I'm very excited about that. You can see the next thing that I'll be doing for the next behind schedule on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/RexConJesse. I'll be doing that in the afternoons, brunch time, so 11 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern. Probably do some more streaming so I can get more hours of Fallout in. I put like 18 hours into it so far, and I'm not done. I gotta keep going. So I'll be doing that. And my friend Rainbow Blight and I stream on Thursday nights. We've been playing Phasmophobia for our bit we're calling the Twitching Hour.
Nice. That's a good name.
And I'll be releasing some new stuff for everybody who enjoys tabletop RPGs. I'll be doing a thing of like 60 reimagined and new status effects. So like you're fatigued, you're nauseous, you're prone. All those are like kind of classics. And then the person I wrote it with, Thomas George, and I made a bunch of new ones like time displacement and doppelganger and like some wild things and some more normal things. So there's 60 of them. It's really cool. It's system agnostic, so you can use it for whatever, and it'll be out this week, probably tomorrow or Tuesday on my itch page, which is rexiconjesse.itch.io.
Cool.
It'll be pay what you want. So if you like it and you don't have money, take it anyway and use it and have fun with it.
But if you do have money, pay that man.
But if you do, yeah.
Pay what you owe.
I like the public radio method of making money, where it's like you put stuff out there and then the people who can like help you out.
Nice.
Okay.
How about you, Superman Jeff? Where can people find you, and what do you want them to see?
Yeah, you can find me on Superman Jeff 12. That's on Twitch. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram, and that's also on Facebook. We just dropped the second episode of the Omniverse comic discussion this past Thursday. Sigma joined me and DJ Quick the 5'9", and we discussed the Snyder Cut. And Snyder Cut in episode 1 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We'll be back bi-weekly, which will be not Thursday, but the Thursday after. I believe it's the...
Insert futuristic sounds.
It's
The suspense.
8th of April.
You
that's
see the
funny.
closed caption say futuristic sounds at the bottom?
So, look at the name below. We'll be there. You can check us out next Thursday. This week coming up, I'm probably going to do some pop-up streams. We have... tomorrow's Monday, so we have Monday Night Siege coming back.
Yep.
So we'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern for some Siege. Thursday, I will not be streaming this Thursday. I'm gonna get Junior for the Easter weekend, so we'll be doing some things there. But like I said, the following Thursday we'll be back with the Omniverse comic discussion episode 3. Episode 2 will be dropping today on the top YouTube channel, on my Facebook channel, and on the top Facebook channel. So check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of that Easter weekend, next Sunday apparently is Easter. There will not be a Sigma show. There will not be a Super Smash Sunday. Enjoy the break. I know I will. But we'll resume the following week, so don't miss us too much. But in terms of where you can find me, SigmaGears9 is the Twitter handle, the Twitch name, the Instagram name, all those things like that. Just finished a stream yesterday morning with Starboy and my girlfriend, Kia. We played Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. That game is chaotic as hell. Like, it makes you hate the people you're playing it with, but we could not stop laughing. It was very, very fun and hectic. Next week, Saturday, just before the Easter break, we'll probably do another one with a different game, of course, but it'll be all three of us. Mm-hmm. And then going forward, that's going to be the new spot for Sigma and Son, and then the new stream that I'll be doing with Kia called probably Casey and Kia or something like that. So it'll alternate.
The last part.
Casey and Kia and something like that. Like
that's kind of cool.
So okay. Yeah, so on Saturdays at around 11 a.m., we'll be doing Sigma and Son. Then the following week will be Casey and Kia, but it'll be a stream on Saturday at 11 every week going forward. Other than that, Black Legend review just dropped on the Escapist Games channel a couple of days ago. Jesse and I also played through the first Tomb Raider this past Friday. Watched that stream. It's really fun and funny. Marvelous Escape dropped, where me, Jack, and Darren talk about episode 2 of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. And what else? What else? There's a lot. Just please follow Twitter, because I try to keep guys up to date on what the hell I'm doing there. But,
and we have a Discord.
Yes, and follow the Open Party Discord. The Sigma Show is affiliated with the Open Party and all of their community works and stuff.
Oops.
Blue typed it in my chat, but I don't have that set up. Like, help me set that up, and I'll put it in there.
I'm so sorry.
Matter of fact, hold on, real quick. I can find that invite.
I got you, bro. Finish out the show.
Oh, and this will be my first episode with Ash showing up on Smash. So we all 4 of us will be there. So
all right. Yeah, so this should be fun because Ash joins us on Smash Sundays every now and then now. So definitely tune in for that this afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Watch Kiba's stream that's going to be featuring Blue in the interim. I think you said that's going to be before that, right?
Yes, sir.
So watch that. So jump from this to that. Jump from that to Smash. And then enjoy your weekend. Thanks, everybody, for a wonderful show. I thank my 3 co-hosts. I thank everybody in chat for watching and listening. Share this with your friends. We're trying to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like, share this everywhere you think people will give a damn about it. Audio version will show up a couple of hours after this stops airing. So keep an eye out for the podcast version as well. Look at my Twitter for the links. Thanks, everybody. That's going to do it for episode 22. Bye.
Deuces.